Stardew Valley is a video game about farming, foraging, fishing, and most importantly, friendship. I have sunk hundreds of hours into growing parsnips and forging everlasting relationships with the slightly eccentric citizens of Pelican Town. Sure, when you first arrive to the valley, some people are a little bit odd, they treat you a little differently, some are a little standoffish, some are downright rude. And so you might be thinking, PJ, how would you rank these characters? Well, I've not really given it much thought. Until now. Yeah, this is what we're doing today. We're gonna take every character in Stardew Valley and we're gonna rank them from S tier to E tier. And believe me, I'm gonna be brutal. Like I said, I've played hundreds of hours of Stardew Valley and I've had tons of experiences with all these characters. So let's rank them. I'm gonna enjoy this. I figured we'd start with the bachelors and the bachelorettes, the ones you can date. I'm sure we're not gonna ruffle anyone's feathers. Sam, he's fairly inoffensive. Nobody hates Sam, do they? I'm gonna be honest, I don't love Sam. He's the musician, skateboarder with his Goku-ass looking hair. I should love Sam, but he's like just fine. I think to me, he seems kind of young. I don't go out of my way to talk to him, so I think I'm gonna stick him in the C tier. All right, we're on the board. This is fun. That's enjoyable. I made this, by the way. Emily. I like Emily. Emily is just a nice person. She's never wronged me in any way.
Top tier.
She's Sophie's favorite. She's Sophie's wife. I almost married her once. Then I married her sister instead. It was Operation Sister Sister, I had to. She's very spiritual. She's into her rocks, which is not my kind of jam. I'm putting her in the A tier. Let's press on. We got a lot to get through. Elliot. When I first met Elliot, I thought he was a bit of a pretentious bozo. He's living quite a nice life actually in this secluded beach house, writing his poetry. That's pretty amazing, really. He's a freelance writer.
He's probably miserable.
I don't want to be too middle about everything, but he's kind of mid. C, I think. Penny. Penny. So there's a few early on awkward moments with Penny. I think she's someone who means well, but definitely can put her foot in it a little bit. She's the town teacher as well. She teaches the 2 children who live in this town. I gotta be careful, we're gonna run out of room on the C tier. I think she's C tier. Oh God. Alex. This is an easy one. Like, just what is Alex? Who is Alex? He's the town jock. He's always standing outside his house, flipping a ball, flexing on me. I get a weird vibe, you know? E tier. Oh shit. Sorry, Abigail, just chucked Abigail across the room. She's cool, she's a gamer, you know, she's mysterious, she hangs out in the graveyard. I once hung out in a graveyard. I was young and trying to discover who I was. I'm gonna be generous, B, I'm gonna go B. We're gonna go B, I'm gonna go B. B for Abigail. Abigail. It makes sense. Why did PJ, why didn't you go A? Why didn't you go A for Abigail? Don't question my methods. People say I look like Harvey. This doesn't look like me. Harvey's the town doctor. He regularly gives Marnie her yearly physical. I don't know why I said that. He's one of the few characters who's not weird, which is nice. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. Maru. She's the scientist who's following in the footsteps of her dad, Demetrius. And she's very kind, but I think Demetrius is the reason I've not been able to get close to her. Anytime I go talk to her, Demetrius feels like he's always watching over her shoulder, which is a little intimidating. So I'm gonna put her in the tier where I'm putting people where I don't want to be rude, so. Shane and Haley. Shaylee. Hane. I'm gonna do 2 at the same time. Why? Because I can, because it's my game. Pay attention. These are the bastards of Pelican Town. They're both so rude to you when you first arrive. Shane doesn't want you to talk to him, and Haley doesn't want you to look at her. But they have their redemption arcs. They do get better over time, and I do need to consider that. I don't want to be a hypocrite, so Shane, fuck it, it's my video. He has his redemption, and that's nice, but I still just don't really... The blue chickens are cool, but then there's Haley. By all accounts, I should hate Haley. She's obnoxious, she's vapid, she's rude, but she has a passion for photography, and she's secretly kind of goofy. And I did marry her in my Wiggles the Clown playthrough. Oh God, so people aren't gonna like this. She's going in the S tier. Sebastian, Sebi. I think Sebastian is kind of actually just me. He's a bit of a loner. He plays D&D, and you get to play D&D with him in the game. I think he's a cool guy. I think B tier. B for Sebastian. Sebastian. Leah. Leah is like the town creative. She's actually living the perfect life. She's in this cute little cabin in the woods. She's making her art sculptures. She's entering them into art fairs. It's almost like she's too good for me. She's too cool for me. Yeah, let's go B. B for Leah. So that's all the bachelors and bachelorettes. However, Krobus, my boy, Kroby. You can't date him, but he can move in and be your roommate, which I just think is adorable. I love Krobus. He lives in the sewers and people in the town, they're maybe a little bit unsure about him. But the moment I met him, I knew that we were destined to be best friends forever. So Krobus, it is with great pleasure that you go in the S tier. He's S tier, baby. Yar, Willie, the old town sea dog. Willie's a nice guy. He's a little bit of a crusty old boomer, but he gives you a fishing rod on the second day you move in, which is pretty cool if you ask me. He lets you use his boat to go to distant islands. Willie's a great guy, okay? I'm gonna vouch for him. Willie's a great guy, you just don't know him well enough. I'm sticking him in the A tier. Pam. Pam. What can be said about Pam? Pam is the town drunk. I do not respect her. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Does Pam have a redemption arc? She drives the bus. Should she drive the bus? Pam is a single mother and she drives the bus. She occasionally gets very drunk and angry, but you know, oh God, I'm sorry, Pam. I'm trying to say like nice things to offset the pain of putting them so low. Next. Marnie. Marnie is great. You know what's not great about Marnie? When the hell does she work? Robin just upgraded my barn. It's Sunday. Can I get an animal? No. It's Monday. Can I get an animal? No. It's Tuesday. Can I get an animal? No. It's Wednesday, but it's her birthday, so she's not working. When does Marnie work? Apart from her work schedule, she's fine. She's fine. Yeah. Evelyn and George. Evelyn's pretty sweet. She sometimes gives you cookies. She gives you she gives you a pot to plant things in. George is a grumpy old bastard. Granny's pretty easy. She's not A tier. I mean, let's be honest, she's nice, but she's not A tier. B, I think she's B. George? Yeah. That's for voting for Brexit, you old bastard. Pierre. There is an entire subreddit dedicated to hatred of Pierre. I weirdly kind of get it. I get that he's worried about his independent business, you know, with Joja Co in town and everything, but he's just kind of a bit of a wet blanket. The reason he's not in E is because he has sold me a lot of good seeds. I have sold him a lot of junk. Speaking of junk, and people I don't respect, Clint, or as I like to call him, Clunt. Clunt is the town blacksmith and he just feels so sorry for himself, and I really try to give him the benefit of the doubt. I really do. I've installed mods to try and better him, but they don't work. There is no fixing this man. He is so entitled that he thinks he deserves Emily's love. You are a black hole of sadness, but I do wish you all the best in the next life. I hope you come back as a better man. Oh, I was looking forward to that. I've been wanting to do that all day. Caroline. She's cool. She teaches you how to make green tea. Honestly, that's honestly good enough to me to go into the A tier. I love green tea. And her hair's green. Jody. Jody's a little rude to you when you first appear in town. What is it she says to you? You're uglier than I expect? No, she says, you're not what I expected. Well, I'm sorry that I don't meet your expectations, Jody. Also, she gave birth to the spawn of Satan, but we'll get onto that shortly. Gunther. Gunther is like if Clint's life went right. By all accounts, this hat situation, it shouldn't work. And yet it does. He is the guy in charge of the museum. He's very passionate about the museum. He seems like a cool guy. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. Linus. Linus is so misunderstood. Everybody in town just treats him like dirt. He's honestly a really lovely guy when you get to know him. I still think he's a secret millionaire, but that storyline has never unveiled itself. There is a mod that turns Linus into a Yeti, which that's nothing to do with the ranking system. I just think that's funny to say. Give him a chance. Get to know him. Linus is A tier, baby. Kent. This is Jody's husband, Sam's father. You only meet him at the start of year 2 when he returns from the war? No. Where does he return from? Is there a war in Stardew Valley? He's like, he's forgettable. Next to your wife, how about that? Robin. Robin's awesome. Robin is the backbone of Pelican Town. She does so much to help, from helping you fix your house up to building entire barns over 2 days single-handedly. Demetrius. Her husband, however, I'm sorry, the one thing I want to say about Demetrius, if I ever asked Sophie to go to the shop and pick me up some fruit, and she brought back a tomato and insisted, well, tomatoes are fruit, you know what I meant when I asked for fruit. So unfortunately, Demetrius, oh, is he gonna take the last spot in D tier? Guess he has to. Gus. Gus is the town chef. He loves food, he loves life, he loves his bar. I actually get weird vibes from him. He's very nice, but there's something about his smile. There's something about just the dead stare in his eyes. Maybe it's the mustache. I don't know what it is. He's fine. He's never wronged me, but I wouldn't be surprised if he had bodies stashed in the cellar of the saloon. Jess. I'm gonna be honest, I don't talk to Jess ever. What reason do I have to talk to a 6-year-old? And anytime I do talk to her, she's just like, I lost my ball! We're not gonna have an in-depth conversation. Oh God, there's no space for, all right. We fit one more in D tier. Marlon. Marlon is the seasoned combat veteran. Honestly, Marlon's kind of a badass. You don't really get to forge a relationship with him necessarily, but he gives you your first sword, and you never forget the guy who gives you your first sword. I like Marlon. A tier. Also, anyone who can rock an eye patch that well, they deserve to be high up. Morris. CEO and owner of JojaMart. Evil. Scum of the earth. Terrible. If there was an F tier, that's where he would be. He's a bit musky, if you know what I mean, you know? He's stinky. Rasmodius the Wizard. Wizards are cool. The first time you properly meet him, he makes you drink a peculiar green soupy drink from his cauldron, and you kind of have a bit of an experience. I like him, honestly. I like him. Mayor Lewis. I don't think anyone loves Mayor Lewis, but I know a lot of people dislike him. I think he does a pretty poor job of running the town, honestly. I think I could do a better job. I think one day I will usurp him as the town mayor. I think the thing I find weirdest about Lewis is how he hides his relationship with Marnie. The town can't know that we're a couple. Why not? Are you ashamed of Marnie? Are you ashamed of, where did I put her? Are you ashamed of this bright, dazzling beauty? You just landed yourself in the E tier, my friend. Vincent. Hello, Vincent, my old nemesis. What can we say about Vincent? Vincent is an ungrateful, obnoxious, spiteful, odious little twerp. I hate Vincent with every ounce of my being. If I had it my way, Vincent would not be a part of this town. Everybody on this board should know Vincent's true colors. So just looking at it makes me unreasonably angry. Just to give you just a bit of an idea. One year, it was his birthday. Well, I thought, well, what do all little boys like? Well, surely they like relics of the past. They like chicken statues. So I gave him a chicken statue. And you know what he said to me? He said, "Ooh, why are you giving this to me on my birthday?" I'm not gonna hit a fictional portrait of a child, but I really want to. He got off lucky. He got off light. And finally, there is one character who we have not talked about. Yes, that's right. Grandpa. The very reason that I have met any of these wonderful and not so wonderful people. If it wasn't for Grandpa leaving me his farm, I would have still been working a horrible corporate job, climbing a ladder to nowhere. But it is because of this man that I have had so many wonderful experiences. So thank you, Grandpa. Thank you. I love you, Pep Pep. And there we have it. That is my official ranking of all of the Stardew Valley characters. What do you think? You agree? You disagree? Let me know which of your favorite characters I have done unreasonably dirty. I'm just gonna take a minute to soak all this in myself. I think that feels all about right. I'm pretty pleased with that, honestly. I think this is a work of art. This might be some of the best art I've ever made. Great, okay. Well, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, hit me with a like and also subscribe for more weekly videos. Like I said, I've played a ton of Stardew Valley and I actually play quite a lot of it on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/kickthepj. So if you ever want to join us for some Stardew Valley, come on over. We'd love to have you over there. See you on the farm, everybody. People are not gonna be happy. All right, okay, cool. We're done. We got it.